Y'all, I'm gonna give y'all something else, raw and real. And also thank you guys so much for engaging with my videos. And I think I'm getting subscribers on my YouTube channel from TikTok too. So y'all are awesome, okay? But seriously, let me tell y'all something. This is how you deal with disappointment when you are a traumatized girly and you are consciously manifesting a new reality. Bitch, it gets thick out here. I'm not even gonna front to you. I'm really not, because it's gonna try you. Okay, so I'm just gonna give an example. In my story, I used to identify as someone who didn't feel enough. I used to identify as someone who felt unlovable. I used to identify as someone who hated the world, hated self, hated everyone in it, right? I used to be very unhappy, all right? And my reality reflected that. Now, I am someone who identifies as I am all there is. I am the goddess of my reality. There's nothing against me. Everything's always working in my favor. I am eternally grateful for all my blessings and everything like that. And I'm eternally grateful, just period. Anyway, but I am currently in the thick of the shifts where my old reality, meaning the people and the circumstances in it who used to reflect that old self concept, are still fucking stuck there because my 3D is still catching up, right? And sometimes I kind of trick myself by thinking that I can like depend on them or, rely on them to be there for me in ways that I think are just natural, but like they're still shifting. So this is how you deal with disappointment. You might just have to be a little bit more ruthless with your self-love and your self-care routines. So I just went to Target. I fucking got my Starbucks. I treated myself to like this beautiful body wash. I just ordered myself some stuff off Amazon. And I booked myself like a nail appointment for Mother's Day. Mind you, I just got myself roses and wine for Mother's Day. I literally like have blocked out the world. I deleted my email app off my phone because I don't feel like being bothered, and I have muted all my notifications. Like I don't even want to talk to anyone in my reality because I am realizing that they aren't up to par with where I'm at internally. And what makes me feel better about this is depending on where the level of disappointment comes from. Like let's say whether it's someone I'm dating, well, they are not my desired SP anyway, right? Or let's say the disappointment comes from family. Well, this same family was fucking dysfunctional and like, was a big source of my trauma as a child. So it's easy to detach from them, not from a place of spite or anything, but like you cannot interact with the old as you are in the new. And sometimes consciously manifesting gets, or when you think that, oh, I don't understand why anything's changing. Like I'm smart enough not to speak against self. I am smart enough to recognize it for what it is, but act accordingly. I take it as a signal to go further in on self, to block out, any bullshit or distractions or people because they are simply catching up to who I am now and who I'm being. And the signal is still catching up for my I amness and my reality. So therefore, I'm actually protecting myself from further disappointment and further wherever the fuck little weird triggers want to happen by centering self and going further in on my self-love and my self-nurturing because I'm recognizing those shifts instead of trying to make things work or get all up in those kinds of spirals. You can't do that when you're manifesting. And the reason why I said this, like, as a traumatized girly, is because unfortunately, those of us who's been through like severe traumas, like repeatedly from like childhood to now, we are so fucking used to being disappointed. We are so used to being let down by like life itself. But like stepping into a place where you no longer identify with that or let it define you is wild. And seeing the source of all those things is also even more wild. And so it's so important not to internalize the disappointment. You know what you deserve. You know who you are. You know where you've been. No one understands your journey more than you. That's why you have to kind of block it out and center and focus on you. The rest of the world will shift and catch up in due time, in divine timing. But do not get set up for disappointment. take it just as a signal to go further and deeper on self and nurture self internally. Treat yourself, give yourself a whole spa day. Try to, if you want to go and get away for a day, do that. If you're a person that like maybe, you're on a budget or whatever, there's always something small you can do for yourself. If you just go for a walk, or do some breath work and journal, and just center yourself in your I am, because that is going to continue the shift. And it's like, I also visualize. So I know that I am indeed a suburban housewife with a fine ass husband who looks just like John Cena. That's my dream man. He always has been, LOL. But it's just the tea. But it's serious. But like, who looks like John Cena with like 5 kids and living my best life, driving, my dream Nissan and dream Benz with like a poppin' social. But thank y'all for making that real, because that's already happening. And I just know who I am. So I go internal, I visualize, and I just repeat, and don't allow the outside to fuck with or fall for interacting with it too hard. When I know it's fucking shifting. Like, I know. So it's like, don't take it personal. Go ahead and make your own day of it. Take space, separate from people, things, places if you need to. And do trust that it will all continue to properly reflect you in due time. Okay? So don't take it out on yourself. Okay? I don't know if I said this or not, I can't even remember, but like, most importantly, don't react. I know I said don't interact with the 3D as it's shifting and as our people are trying to catch up to your, I amness and your mindset and all that. But like, also don't react. Like, you can vent, journal or whatever, and set boundaries with people and say, hey, I'm really not in the mood to be fucked with today. I don't feel like talking. I don't feel like being social. I don't really feel like being accessible to you or anything or anyone today. And that's fine. But don't like react and blow up and say, oh, well, this is why. And definitely don't speak against yourself. Don't spin it against yourself. Just don't do that. Because that is how we get opposite results in our reality. So just stand firm, take it as a sign that shit's changing, even if it's lagging, and keep it pushing forward. But continue to do things for yourself that make you feel great, and, continuously remind you of who you are and how far you've come.